Shalom Akim. First foremost, give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kodesh. Double honors under the elders of Potter's Green Millstone, the elders Green Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings under the hopeful elect. That's a serious sermon say Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, serving in truth and sincerity. Yes, I'm the brother Chayabar from ZMS Plain Tables Camp. Come back with another lesson to the Spirit. So this lesson be entitled, "The flock is not merchandise." So to read it, it says Nehemiah chapter 5 and 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year even unto the 32nd year of Artaxerxes the king, that is 12 years, I, my brethren, have not eaten the bread of the governor. But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, and I had taken of them bread and wine, beside 40 shekels of silver. Yet even their servants bare rule over the people. But so did not I, because of fear of the Most High. So the former governors were chargeable unto the people. When you get that word for chargeable within the Hebrew word is kabad, meaning to be heavy, be weighty, be grievous, be hard. It says be burdensome. So they are burdensome unto the people. And I taken of them bread and wine, beside 40 shekels of silver. It also says their servants. So the rulers were a certain type of way. Their servants also followed suit to be even more burdensome unto the people. But key point, Nehemiah says, but so did I not. Or it says, but so did not I, because of fear of the Most High. So Nehemiah's restraint didn't come from weakness. He did have authority, but the fear of the Most High governed how he used it. It says verse 16 of Nehemiah chapter 5, Yet also I continue in the work of this wall, neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto the work. Verse 17, Moreover, there were at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, beside those that came unto us from among the heathen that are round about us. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me, and once in 10 days store of all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon this people. So Nehemiah didn't just say that he cared about the people. There's things that he refused to take, and things that he put upon himself as a burden to carry. Yeah, so as we can see in verse 16, Nehemiah and his servants remained building the wall. So he didn't take advantage of the people's hardship to purchase the land. As we can see early in the chapter, verse 3, a lot of them, it says, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses that we might buy corn because of the dearth. So Nehemiah didn't exploit that. Yeah, also, in verse 17, it says how Nehemiah fed, it says 150 Jews, or 150 of the Jews and rulers. So moreover, there are at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, beside those that came unto us from among the heathen that are round about us. So he fed Jews and rulers and visitors at his own expense. And he didn't take the governor's allowance because the burden of Israel was already heavy. So he didn't follow after the former governors that had been chargeable unto the people, meaning burdensome in this sense. It says 1 Peter 5 and 2, feed the flock. It says 1 Peter 5:1, the elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of the Most High which is among you, taking oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. So we can see that Peter is addressing the elders. It also says, feed the flock of the Most High. So we can see that the flock belongs unto the Most High. It doesn't belong unto us or anybody else. No, the flock belongs unto the Most High, as we can see. So as we can see, it says, feed the flock of the Most High. So the elders are commanded to feed the flock of the Most High. Getting that word for feed, within the Greek, it says poi ma itno. It says to tend a flock, keep sheep. Rule, it says to rule, govern. Of rulers, to furnish pasture for food, to nourish. To cherish one's body, to serve the body, to supply the requisites for the soul's need. So they're commanded to feed and to oversee the flock, just like how a shepherd would. Also serve willingly, with a ready mind. So not by constraint, like they have to do it, but willingly, with a willing spirit, with a spirit of willingness to do it, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. So Nehemiah already demonstrated the principle of what Peter was saying here. So he didn't treat the people as personal gain, like you see a lot of sold out Israelites doing nowadays. It says 2 Peter chapter 2 and 3. And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. So they, from verse 1, we can see that speaking about the false prophets, the false teachers. It says 2 Peter 2 and 1, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be even evil spoken of. And we see a lot of that today. Guys who start teaching damnable heresies and rejecting the truth that they have been taught, because they don't connect with Yahushai and go deeper with Yahushai. They start going the other way that leads onto destruction and denying him. It says, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be even spoken of. As the scriptures say, the blind shall lead the blind into a ditch. So you're going to have many that are deceived by their pernicious ways. Let's get that word for pernicious within the Greek. Greek word is apolia. It says destroying, utter destruction. It says a perishing, ruin. Yeah, so they're ways that lead onto destruction. They're destroying ways, as we just read that definition. It says, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be even spoken of. So a big reason why we are demonized is because of these guys who turn away from the truth. And then there's this huge confusion out there that all Israelites are the same. All Hebrew Israelites are the same, which, as we can see, the Lord has already said difference among the Hebrew Israelites. We know the ones with 100% truth is Great Millstone. But the point is that you have a lot of guys who become offended and they don't follow Yahushai. So they bring upon themselves swift destruction. It says, verse 3, and through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. So it says their covetousness. So that's the reason and the motive behind it, why they do it. When you get that word for covetousness, within the Greek word is pleonexia. Greedy desire to have more. Covetousness. It says avarice. When you get that word for avarice, the definition, it says an excessive and selfish desire for wealth, possessions, or more that is needed, greed, especially in relation to money or material gain. Yes, nothing wrong with wanting more, but it's the spirit that these guys come in and how they do it of wanting more. As King Solomon said, give me neither poverty nor riches. But these guys want more that they can bear and doing it in a wicked way. How? By teaching lies unto our people. How you feed a flock of the Most High is by teaching the truth, the 100% truth, in truth and sincerity. But how these guys do it is what they teach lies. And we know they do that by selling out and taking the bag, selling out to Esau and taking that bag. So that's why a lot of these camps have the 501c3. And with the 501c3, they're not able to speak the 100% truth. One thing that we see that's common among these guys who take that bag is that they have to teach and use false names, saying Jesus, saying God, and saying these things that they've been brought up in before they came into truth, Christianity and whatever it might be, plantation Christianity. That's what these guys are doing now. What, just because of the motive, which is covetousness, getting more for the cares of this life. Nicer car, the Benz house, and then what's showing it among the congregation, like, oh, look what I got. So it says, shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you? So the way they do it is by using feigned words. In that Greek word, it says plastos. It says molded, formed, as from clay, wax, stoned, or stone. It says artificial, or figuratively fictitious. So when you get that word for fictitious, it says not real or true, invented, imagined, or deliberately fabricated. Yeah, like these two guys from Genesis, the Genesis group. They're saying now that the heathen can be saved, which they weren't initially taught that. And they know that that isn't true, but they start teaching things that aren't true for the bag because they get paid for it, to preach lies among the people. So by teaching feigned words, the outcome of that is that they make merchandise of the people. Get our word for merchandise, when in Greek it says emporio omai. It says to go trading, to travel for business, traffic, trade, to deal in. It says to use a person for or a thing for gain. Selling Hebrew prayers, selling breakdowns, selling videos. You got to be member only to watch a video. Selling all these things that are for free and that were given to them for free. Selling Hebrew names, so on and so forth. So the end of that, the reward of that, for them doing that, is judgment. It says, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. And we see these guys already getting judged. The Lord put in the spirit upon their women to expose them. And now they got to quote unquote step down from their position. And the ultimate damnation, judgment of them, is being put to death. Scripture's going to that second death, which is going to be when America, Babylon the Great, is being destroyed by the nuclear missiles. And even before all of that, all hell is going to break loose, and a lot of death is going to be happening within that. So these guys who follow that way are going to receive that reward, which is judgment and damnation from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, from the trials and tribulations that the Lord is put upon the earth. Well, we can go into 2 Ezra chapter 16. It goes into famine, anguish. Also how the Lord is going to send a sword. That's what's going to happen. Those who are against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will be caught up in it. So the false prophet is going to use words to turn the people into prophet. But we can see how Nehemiah did the opposite. He used his position to lessen the people's burden. So strong with our elder apostles, all Great Millstone, on down. We can see how they're using their position to teach the truth. If they're not using the position that they have, they speak lies and for filthy lucre. So it says Nehemiah chapter 5 and 19, think upon me my power for good, according to all that I've done for this people. Yeah, and on the Lord's timing, you get rewarded. But as we can see, Jake, they want things quickly. So they start making moves, selling out, taking a bag, because they want things now. And they can't wait. But as it says in Proverbs chapter 10 and 22, the blessing of the Lord Yahweh maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. So the blessing of the Lord Yahweh maketh rich, and it addeth no sorrow with it. So these guys don't have the blessing of the Lord. And because of that, they're going to have sorrow added with it. So them getting exposed, them getting revealed, and them getting destroyed. That's the ultimate reward for a false prophet. But we know that our ultimate reward is going to be the kingdom of heaven and the salvation of Yahushai. Those are the ultimate and true riches that we're waiting for. So Lord's Lord brothers out there edified. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakarash Brakathum. Shalom.